too far from the start. We were this close to another story, but we drifted apart. Oh, I think I lost my way. And no, I'm not okay. And yet I'm begging you to stay. Oh, I think I lost my way. Where am I going now? Will our paths cross somehow? You were always by my side. I hope one day our hearts collide. We were this close to another ending, but too far from the start. We were this close to another story, but we drifted apart. Oh, I think I lost my way. And no, I'm not okay. And yet I'm begging you to stay. Oh, I think I lost my way.
Imagine me there while you are here. I'm thinking of you, and distance is nothing. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine no line, right here where we are. Imagine it's cold, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands the sunlight just for you. Imagine me there while you are here. I'm thinking of you, and distance is nothing. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine no line, right here where we are. Imagine it's cold, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands the sunlight just for you. Imagine it's cold, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands the sunlight just for you. Whole world to be with you. Whole world to be with you. Whole world to be with you. Imagine me there while you are here. I'm thinking of you, and distance is nothing. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine no line, right here where we are. Imagine it's cold, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands the sunlight just for you.
Okay. Holy monka. Let's do this one, I think. Okay, not too bad. That's not overtly loud. Okay, so that works as intended. Alright, let's get into it then. I need to click through that for a start. Okay, dokie. Oh. 3, 2, 1, let's go. What is going on? Welcome back to another Red Pandacast. Episode 11. Holy crap. We're already on episode 11. We're almost like, a third of the way through the first season, which is gonna be like 30 days or something. Like 30 episodes or something. Which is awesome, I guess. And we're gonna move into stuff we're dealing with. Blah. You can see it on screen, some of it at least. So yeah, we're talking about stuff today, and let me put some chill background music on because today's topics aren't exactly fun, so for the most part, until at least we get through like this first segment, so we're gonna have some music in the background while we talk about this. Copyright free music, obviously, of course. You know, for Twitch and all that. So chilly, yeah, I think. Yo, that's loud. That's okay. Okay, so multiple articles across multiple topics, but it all centers around the same first topic, which is the absolute mess that is Brexit. So we're starting off with talking about BP and Esso. Petrol stations are closed as lorry driver shortages hit the UK. And that's part of the issue. BP head of UK Real Estate Hannah Hoffer described the situation as bad, very bad, and could continue for weeks. That's at least what they're saying so far. Yo, that got loud fast. Why is it so loud in my head? Is there a way for me to reduce this a tiny bit? Yo. What? I got like 5% there? There we are, 5%. Okay, that works, I guess. Some of the UK's biggest petrol stations operators have warned of a shortage of fuel at the forecourt, risking widespread disruption for UK drivers. BP has already been forced to close a number of stations after supply was hit by a lack of heavy good delivery drivers. There is actually a really big shortage of them for some reason in the UK. Well, I say some reason. Basically the reason is being that, you know, because of Brexit and everything, there are no drivers coming in from abroad, and that's the 100,000 we're missing apparently. And it's stupid. It's so stupid and sad. The BP has already been forced to close a number of stations after supply was hit by a lack of heavy good vehicles to deliver fuel, while ExxonMobil, owned by Esso, said a small number of Tesco petrol forecourts have also been affected. You know, like, even the small number, that's still, like, thousands of people affected, right? Like, not just one person travels through a petrol station. A lot of people do. And just even one is bad enough. So the supply issues which have, you know, struck dozens of petrol stations come as higher one of the UK's largest fuel logistic companies. Real is struggling to meet deliveries for a host of clients, including BP, Esso, and Shell. Due to lack of drivers, BP's head of UK retail, Hannah Hoffer, described the situation as bad, very bad, and warned the government if it was important it grasped the urgency of the situation. I mean, that's very unlikely that they'll grasp the urgency of the situation. Ms. Hoffer said the company had 2/3 of normal forecourt stock levels required for smooth operation, and told ITV News the level is declining rapidly. Under emergency plans, BP will provide 80% of its normal service levels to 9 in 10 of its petrol stations, meaning that a range of locations could not be restocked for 1.5 days each week. So yeah, it's bleak. It's bleak. Yeah. They prioritise motorways apparently. I mean, that's really the worst place where you want someone to run out of fuel, right in the middle of like nowhere on the motorway. So you can understand why there's logic in what they're doing with that. The petrol station companies. Labour's Jim McMahon, the Shadow Transport Secretary, described the situation as rapidly worsening crisis, which the government has failed to heed the warnings of for a decade. I mean, I hardly argue it's a warning for a decade. I mean, obviously there's issues, right? But this isn't something that was like unexpected. We've known that there's been driver shortages for a long time. It's not something new, and we just made the situation worse. So is why we're in this situation. Yeah. It says sticky plaster solutions are not going to solve it. Ministers must take decisive steps to how to tackle the 90,000 driver shortfall. Apparently it's estimated actually to be over 100,000 drivers. This is conservative estimate of 90,000 drivers. It's apparently a lot worse than that. It's over 100,000. And the responsibility for every day, shelf every vital medicine not delivered and every supplier not able to meet demand lies at their door. The Tories' door, the Conservatives' door. We're going to move on into another independent article about the same topic. Well, I say the same topic, but I mean, well, the topic is still Brexit. So UK distances itself from a laughable and unhelpful plan to join North America Trade Pact. This is a little bit of a weird one because, yeah, well, you'll see. Canada, Mexico, and British officials were left confused and angry and muted bid to join the USMCA bloc. The UK distances itself from the unprofessional and frankly embarrassing plan to try and join the North America Trade Pact just 24 hours after mooting the idea. Canadian and Mexican officials were left upset after the UK briefed that it wants to join the tripartite deal between the US and the two countries, the USMCA, blindsided just as they prefer fried bilateral talks with London. Yeah. The briefing from a senior UK government figure on Tuesday is going to trip US court officials off guard and sensitive preparations for renegotiating bilateral deals, according to people familiar with talks on all sides of the table. It's just it's unprofessional. If I were to say it straight, according to one person familiar with the efforts of the Canadian officials, preparing for fresh talks with UK in order to improve on rollover deals that were hurried through ahead of deadlines. On one side, it's laughable that the UK would try to join the USMCA. On another one, of course, we have to weigh such statements in light of serious talks with Britain and work out if there's anything behind it. After the confusion over UK plans to join the USMCA, Number 10 tried to pour cold water on the idea on Wednesday and said reiterated interest in a bilateral deal. The Prime Minister's official spokesman said, what we are focused on is the US deal. The spokesman, there are no plans to go beyond that at this stage. And I say that's their priority for us. But the deal's not happening. This has been said, and the deal's not happening, right? So a different person familiar with the Mexico and UK trade negotiations said that while it was not realistic prospect for the UK to join North America trade bloc, it was still an extremely unhelpful statement. We've not heard anything about this, they added. It would be well to remember that there are 3 members of this trade group, not just the US. So yeah, UK just doing stuff to confuse the rest of the world, well, right? Because that's helpful, right? So moving on to this part, yeah. Daily Express readers dream of a mega trade deal with US, which shattered within just 14 hours. UK pushes for a mega deal with the US, and then dead in water Brexit trade deal with US, Canada, and Mexico acts before talks even began. So yeah. Oh my god, like, how much can you wreck something in 14 hours? Well, here you go. Be happy! Oh, by the way, nobody wants it. Don't be happy anymore. So, that was a bit extreme. And we're going to move on to another one, which is the Brexit reality. So, what was promised? Cheap food. Nope. Food shortages, prices up. Cheaper energy. No, we have a gas shortage, and CO2 shortage because of the gas shortage. And we also have petrol shortages because, we can't get petrol at places, so that's probably got the price up as well. And then also, we have more red tape because of the real getting confusing about how to get stuff in and out of this country. That's very confusing. We're going to jump into that soon. Control of our borders. No. I mean, people are still coming in, right? That's not a bad thing. I'm as well pointed out, but that was one of the things that was said. We'll have control of our borders. Well, that's just a lie. Better for farmers. Yeah, it's really, really great that farmers can't get their food to where they need their food. So that's kind of, sad, disappointing. I'm sure farmers would love to actually sell their food in supermarkets and have food and, their cattle and stuff and, actually be selling meat and everything. Instead of, having all this worry and, thinking that the entire last year of everything that they've done has been a complete waste of time. Better for fishermen. No, if you're an EU fisherman, sure. If you're in the European Union, fishing's been great. If you're in the UK, no, not so much. A free trade deal with the USA, well, we just talked about that, haven't we? So you saw how that one went. We don't have a trade deal. We're not going to be part of the North American bloc either, so yeah. A better deal with the EU. We didn't get that either. That was just something else that went out the window, apparently. No more border in the Irish Sea. Well, we still have a border. I don't think anyone expected us to not have a border. That exists between... Oh, I'm not even going to go there because that's just this topic that you don't want to talk about. Oh, and 350 million a week for the NHS. That was the thing as well. That was touted. Not happened. Really not happened. In fact, the NHS, most staff got a pay cut. So yeah, with inflation and the raise in wages, it actually worked out to be a pay cut. And now with how everything else is going, it's going to be an even bigger pay cut because living costs are going to go up. So that's basically this here. They lied to you. I think that's the point. So we're going to move on to the next topic, and this from The Guardian. Still the same thing. So, Brexit caused huge drop in Great Britain to Ireland exports. So yeah, the border of the Irish Sea, still there. Irish government figures come days after Marks and Spencer's says it is scrapping 800 lines due to excessive paperwork. Oh, this is a big one. So exports from Great Britain to Ireland fell by almost £2.5 billion in the first 7 months of the year, with Brexit emerging as a major factor according to official Irish government document data. The figures from Ireland's Central Statistics Office came just days after Marks and Spencer said it was scrapping 800 product lines from its stores in the Republic of Ireland because of excessive paperwork. God damn, that's bad. And health controls on food. The Central Statistics Office recorded the value of goods imported from Great Britain for January to July 2021 is 6.3 billion, 6.3 billion euros, or 5.4 billion pounds, a 32% decrease year on year, equivalent to 2.9 billion in sales compared with the same period in 2020. Imports in July alone were down from 32% compared with the same month in 2020, with large decrease seen in food and live animals. These categories of goods have all been subject to new physical and documented controls on entry to Ireland since Brexit came into force in January. Oh my god, so basically it's paperwork. It's paperwork. However, goods travelling in the other direction are not subjected to the same controls, with the government last week announcing that checks due to be implemented in October and January will be delayed up to 9 months. So the asymmetrical trading relationship now appears to be translating into visible wins and losses. Sales rocketed for Irish traders by almost 500 million year on year, up 60%. in July to 1.5 billion euros, and up 26% in the first 7 months of 2021. So, yeah, M&S last week blamed pointless paperwork for exports into France and Ireland, and as it was closing 11 of its French stores because of problems supplying them with fresh produce since Brexit. It also said it will now try to source more product locally in Ireland, a strategy successfully deployed for the last decade by Aldi and Lidl in Ireland. Yeah, so the government said it was postponing checks on British bars because of the pandemic and blah, blah, blah. Global supply chain FTs, but border posts were not ready, and work has not yet started at either Dover in England or Holyhead in Wales, the two major gateways into the UK. And yeah, it is stupid. It's stupid. So we're moving on. Dozens of Morrison staff offered redundancy as store axes delivery services. This is the day that it's the day that keeps on giving, right? This is the day of just happy news for people. Goddamn. Yeah. Dozens of Morrison workers have been offered a chance to apply for voluntary redundancy at North Staffordshire store as the branch prepares to axe its home delivery service. Morrison's is in consultation with Union Usdaw over its decision to withdraw from Pick from Store online delivery home service from its League branch and offer voluntary redundancy to all hourly paid staff. The Junction Road branch is one of 50 affected stores across the country. It will have 150 remaining stores, and the retail giant's warehouse is still offering the home delivery service. It's understood that the branch has around 200 employees, with most of them hourly paid. Morrison spokeswoman said at the start of the COVID-19, blah blah blah. We rapidly grew our store home delivery service to service my customers who had moved from shipping to online stores. As we're in the next phase of this, and with many restrictions now eased, we must now adapt and make some changes to the size of our online operation to meet our customer demands. For October, we plan to close online home delivery in a number of stores. We'll continue to maintain the same service levels, including the number of customers and postcodes we live to, through our existing home delivery stores as well as our fulfillment centres. All colleagues affected by these proposed changes will be given the opportunity to either move into an alternative role within our business or apply for voluntary redundancy. Well, that's just sad. That's just sad all around, isn't it? So we're going to move on to another one, and this is from The Guardian. Number 10 dismisses alarmist warnings of lights going out amid an energy crisis. Number 10 has brushed off the idea that there could be a winter of discontent with energy and food shortages over Christmas, saying the UK is highly resilient, which is a load of nonsense. With the government locked in talks with energy suppliers about the rising cost of gas, and many firms struggling to stay afloat, Kwasi Kwarteng, the business secretary, said there was no question of lights going out, which is a lie. There'll be no 3-day working weeks or a throwback to whatever 1970s. He said such thinking is alarmist, unhelpful and completely misguided. He also insisted the energy price cap to protect consumers from sharp rises in bills will remain in place. However, households are already facing a rise of 12 to 13% in the cap, an average of £139 this October, and there is no guarantee that it will not rise further next year in response to the global gas price shock. Except, we would not have been hit by this if we were in the EU, which prevents such things from happening. It is illegal to dodge prices in the EU, and we are not in the EU, that's why we are being hit with it. Ed Miliband, Shadow Business Secretary, said many people were facing a triple whammy from rising energy costs, national insurance hike, and a cut to universal credit. All three very bad things. And the high price of gas has forced some CO2 producers to shut down, leading to the meat industry to warn that there could be shortages in the coming months because the gas is needed for working with animals, stunning, packaging, and refrigerating produce. And that's basically not going to happen. I think the last time I read it, there was something like a week's worth of supply left. And obviously, there's still going to be more issues over time, so it's not like it's just going to go away. It's going to keep happening. So, yeah. It might not be this week or next week or the week after, but at some point there's going to be major issues. And these issues aren't going to start soon. They're going to be ongoing, where the lack of supply builds up and then people are hit with a really, really crappy, sad Christmas. However, Johnson's spokesman insisted the UK will not fall victim to any food shortages, despite poultry producers raising the alarm that there may not be enough turkeys and other meat for Christmas. As I said, we've got a highly resilient food supply chain in the UK. We've seen that throughout blah, and we will obviously continue to work with industries that are facing issues to ensure that remains the case, he says. That's just nonsense. So here's a graph for the UK. I can't make that bigger, that's annoying. Okay, so here's a graph for the UK. I don't know if you can see it very well. This is the UK line, which is here. And this is the rest of Europe. Netherlands, France, Germany, biggest, really big meat supplies in them countries. Gas, they are some of the big suppliers in that country. They use a lot of gas. They have a high meat supply, and you can see that whilst there is an increase in what they are facing in terms of costs and prices, it is nowhere near as extreme as the price of gas in the UK. The highest electricity market prices in Europe, we have the highest. So yeah, Downstreet was asked if there was a plan to help CF Industries, UK's biggest supplier of CO2, reopen two large fertilisation plants in Teesside and Cheshire, which produce CO2 as a byproduct. Plus, said we have a highly diverse source of supplies, but as I say, Kwasi Kwarteng has spoken to the company involved over the weekend and will consider any contingency plans as appropriate. It's more rhetoric, and we could go through it, but yeah. They're just basically saying, oh, we're resilient, oh, it's fine, oh, it's great. Nothing's wrong. There's nothing wrong. What you're seeing is nothing wrong. It's just business as usual, right? Because all these things were happening before. Well, they weren't. And they keep blaming it on other stuff, which is going on. But in reality, it isn't, because we didn't notice these effects until we left the EU. And now that we're out, and, the real things are kicking in, where we have no more support, everything's been tucked away, we're starting to see these effects. And they're really hitting hard, and they're hitting everywhere. So we're moving on to Sky News. Energy crisis, labour shortages, and supply chain issues in the UK. Here's what we're short of, and the industry is under threat. So this is a more of a defective list. Food supplies. The UC2 is critical for food supply chain, particularly when it comes to packaging and meat production. So the closure of fertilisation plants is having a knock-on effect in the food industry. Ranjit Singh Boparan, the owner of Bernard Matthews and Two Sisters Food Group, says supply issues as well as a shortage of workers will affect the supply of turkeys for Christmas. He's very, very much committed to this and says this will be an issue. He hasn't scapegoated it or followed the government line. He's turned around and says, look, this is an issue. There is going to be issues. CO2 is also injected into packaging of some peripheral foods, including meat salads, to prevent the growth of bacteria, and can prolong the shelf life of products such as beef for around 5 days. Ian Wright, Chief Executive of the Food and Drink Federation, said consumers could see noticing shortages in poultry, pork, and bakery products in coming days. Warburton's, one of the UK's biggest bread manufacturers, has announced a halt on its crumpet production at 2 out of its 4 plants because they've run out of CO2. So, what's included? Meats, including poultry and pork, fresh foods and baked goods, packaged baby foods, crisps, pet food, beer and wine, carbonated water, and soft drinks is some of the items included. So, yeah, Retailers warn of potential shortage of Christmas trees and high prices this year following the labour and supply chain difficulties since around 1/10 of the real Christmas trees sold in the UK are imported. I don't believe that it's 1/10. I believe it's more than that. I don't see how it could be 1/10. I don't think we have that many Christmas-like trees, and if we do, we are cutting down a large proportion of them. I mean, I guess it hops into climate change, right? But yeah, so the lorry drivers have been hit by a shortage of lorry drivers this summer. Crisis has affected supermarkets, restaurants, and other retailers. Shortfall has been triggered by an exodus to foreign nationals, post-Brexit immigration rules, and self-isolation requirements. McDonald's, KFC, Greggs, Subway, and Nando's are among food retailers impacted by truck delivery shortages. In August, McDonald's was forced to pull milkshakes and bottled drinks from its menus due to supply chain issues, while Greggs said some products containing chicken were missing from its shelves, as well as Nando's has had massive problems with chicken. And the UK's biggest supermarket chains, including Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrisons, Co-op, and Iceland Foods, have all been affected by supply chain shortages due to disruptions to deliveries, with Tesco urging people not to panic buy. Pet food is apparently an issue. I mean, we'll not get into that. Obviously, pet food, meat, right? So that makes sense. Bikes. Halfords, the UK's largest cycling retailer, said bikes were down by almost 23% in the 20 weeks to 20th of August compared to the same period last year. And again, supply chains. Beer. Weatherspoon said on the 1st of September that it was having problems with the supply of Carling and Coors beers, and that it had a knock-on effect from industrial action by drivers acting on behalf of another brewer. Molson Coors, which makes the brands, also cited the HGV driver shortage. Then there's cars. I won't get into cars too much. But yeah, semiconductor chips are in short supply, and that is affecting cars. I think it's accepted now that everyone knows that most cars have computers in them. They have ECUs, and yeah, these chips are not arriving, and it's causing massive issues, which isn't good, obviously. So yeah, definitely bad times for cars. Electronics, construction materials, and it goes on and on and on. And why are the shortages? The hiking gas prices is threatened to cause havoc on the food supply chain. The factory forced to close down, stopping carbon dioxide production. And yeah, that's happened. So food firms warn of panic buying this Christmas. I think we've gotten into that enough. I don't think there's any point going into this anymore. We know what it is. You know, it's with CO2 and all that. So yeah. Bonfires. The Guardian. So if you thought you were going to be having a happy bonfire night, well, for a lot of you that might not be the case, because fireworks are 70% down due to Brexit and supply chain crisis. Suppliers said to be unwilling to stock up because of confusion over safety labelling and extra paperwork. Brexit and the supply chain crisis are threatening to put a dampener on this year's bonfire night fireworks displays, as distributors warn that import problems have reduced stocks by up to 70% and forced up prices. One supplier said wholesalers are unwilling to stock up on pyrotechnics because of additional paperwork related to Brexit and a change in safety labelling that's caused confusion about what can be sold in the UK past the end of 2022. Wow, oh my god, they're worried about that now? God, that must be a really bad change if they're like, yo, we're not doing anything because this is bad. Wow. So Richard Hogg, of the Doncaster-based distributor Fireworks Kingdom, said, "Implying fireworks has become very difficult and unstable in the wake of Brexit. Our industry is just hit particularly hard, receiving just 30% of the usual annual supply." He said a switch from the European-wide CE safety label to a UK CA mark, which will be required to sell fireworks in the UK, meant wholesalers were reluctant to build large stocks in case they could not sell those items when the new system comes in. The UK CA label's introduction was pushed back in August, and it will now come into force at the start of 2023. I mean, that sucks for people and kids and everything, right? You don't want to see that. You want people to have fun and stuff. But that sucks all around. Bonfire Night's like my thing. Like, that's my jam. Like, out of all the nights of the year, all the holidays of the year, like all the things we celebrate and do, Bonfire Night, that's like a big one for me. That's like a super big one that I enjoy. I don't know what it is, but I really, really enjoy Bonfire Night. I think it's like the lights and the sound and the feeling and the smells. Like, yeah, Bonfire Night's a big one for me. Well, we're moving on from Brexit. We're done with Brexit now. Like, whoa, hooray. We're done with Brexit. We're moving on to Sky News. And we talk about James Bond. Daniel Craig has been made an honorary commander in the Royal Navy to match his on-screen rank of 007. Daniel Craig played 007 in 5 films spanning 15 years, starting with Casino Royale in 2006 and ending with No Time to Die, which finally hits UK cinemas on 30th September after multiple delays. It is directed by True Detective's Kari Joji Fukunaga? Oh, I'm not even saying that. That's a bad name. It's not a bad name, but it's very hard to say. James Bond actor Daniel Craig made an honorary commander in the Royal Navy, matching their on-screen rank. It comes ahead of the premiere of his newest Bond installment, the repeatedly delayed No Time to Die, which marks Craig's last outing as the famous spy. He's played 007 in 5 films, blah blah blah. Warship HMS Dragon features in the film, with a sneak preview of a distinct Type 45 destroyer, with a red dragon emblem on the hull, seen cutting through the waves in most recent trailer. Commander Craig said, "I am truly privileged and honoured to be appointed to the rank of honorary commander in the senior service." The 53-year-old is keen to support personnel within the Royal Navy and has a particular interest in service families, the Navy said in a statement. First Seas Lord Admiral Sir Tony Radakin said, "I am delighted to welcome Honorary Commander Daniel Craig to the Royal Navy." And that's just like a nice little thing that people do. Obviously it means he doesn't have any power or anything, but I think, like, whether you like him or hate him, right, on some level, to be recognised for your work and to have that token gesture, I mean, it is a token gesture, but at the same time, I think it means a lot where to say, you know, we want you to have this rank to reflect the character you portray, because we feel like you portray the character in such a way that deserves you of this honour. So, our honorary officers act as ambassadors and advocates for the service, sharing their time and expertise to spread the message about what our global, modern and ready Royal Navy is doing around the world. Daniel Craig is well known for being Commander Bond for the last 15 years, a naval officer who keeps the British safe through missions across the globe. That's what the real Royal Navy does every day, using technology and skill the same way as Bond himself. I look forward to him getting to see more of our sailors, Marines over the coming months and years. I mean, it's just a nice thing. Nice little token gesture. I have nothing against that. I think it's very, very good. Very good indeed. So moving on, and this one is from Entertainment. I talked about this earlier in a video, but Fantastic Beasts gets official title early 2022 release date. So, the Fantastic Beasts 3, The Secrets of Dumbledore, has been moved up to April 15th, 2022. And that might surprise people. It was set up to come out in June. But instead of it coming out in June, it is coming out in April. And the only reason I could figure out why this would be the case is because that Warner Brothers are really worried about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, and they simply want to get this film out the way. They want to protect it, they want to protect the interest, they want to protect the profits I will make, they want to make sure that it's successful, and the best way to do that is to ensure that it comes out well before the verdict of the case. So this comes out on April 15th, the case starts around this time, but the actual trial won't start until mid-May, and then the verdict will come at the end of May. So this gives Fantastic Beasts around 2 months of box office time to occur, profits and make a name for itself and stuff without being stained by whatever comes out in that trial, which we don't know. Obviously, we don't know. It could be anything. But, wherever it was, Warner Brothers were doubling down and ensuring that, regardless, this film will do well, regardless of what happens. I think it's a smart decision by them. And I don't think them ditching Johnny Depp was ever a smart decision. But I guess I understand why in some ways. But at the same time, I understand this decision perfectly well. This is them doubling down and ensuring that this film is a success regardless of what happens. But yeah, I just thought this was like a little interesting one. We're going to move on from this though to Willie Garson, who is a star of Sex and the City and white collar actor. He has died at the age of 57. It's really, really sad. The stars pay tribute to Dear Funny Kind Man, who played Carrie Bradshaw's friend Stanford in the popular HBO TV series. And he was also in White Collar. It's so sad in some ways. He was an amazing actor. I know him from the White Collar. I don't watch Sex and the City. I've never really watched Sex and the City. I don't really know anything about it. Yeah. But I watched him in White Collar, and oh my god, he was amazing. He worked with Mac Bulmer so well, and they just had the charisma and the energy that was so funny and hilarious, and just it was just so entertaining to watch and experience that connection that them two had together. So information about his cause death is not being officially released, but Michael Patrick King, the executive producer of Sex and the City, and just like that, said in a statement Tuesday that Garson had been sick. They had lost one of their own family. Our amazing Willie Garson, King said, his spirit and his dedication to the craft was present every day filming, and just like that, he was there giving us his all, even while he was sick. His multitude of gifts as an actor and person will be missed by everyone in this sad, dark moment. We are comforted by our memory of his joy in flight. A statement from HBO said, Willie Garson was in life as on-screen, a devoted friend and a bright light for everyone in his universe. He created one of the most beloved characters from the HBO pantheon and was a member of our family for almost nearly 25 years. We are deeply saddened to learn of his passing and extend our sincere condolences to his family and loved ones. Yeah, it's sad. This one struck me by surprise. This has been a year of, a lot of influential people who really affected my life in different ways, have passed away, and it's sad. But it's life as well, right? That's life. Things change, and all we can do is just remember things that they did, things that they made, things that they said that made you laugh and giggle, and just the moments of emotion and stuff that made you feel something. And in that respect, yeah, my condolences go up to his family, and he was truly an exceptionally talented actor, and to watch him in White Collar with Matt Bulmer, it was a pleasure. He played his role so well. It was unbelievable to watch. And yeah, we're going to move on into gaming news, and this is from Dick Sertor. Respawn Dev has shut down Titanfall fans' hopes on, saying there's nothing there. Now, this is a bit of a confusing one, because you've got this dev saying there's nothing there. Both verses say blah 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 blah. During a live stream on 20th, Garza was asked for any comments on Titanfall, to which he responded that it's an old game with a lot of mechs. Don't get your hopes up, man. I've said this before. We haven't got anything in the works. There's nothing there. We've got too many other games in the works right now. And unsurprisingly, Ubisoft fans disappointed. But Garza did offer some clarification in his comments when he responded, time to give up on Titanfall being fixed. Garza explained, well, that's not what I meant. I was just talking about the future of Titanfall. We're still working on the current situation, but as always, can't really telegraph those moves publicly. But yeah, he's like, said some stuff. But when you actually go to this one here, if I get the right one, Respawn, they have actually released their own little statement today, and this is from their official Twitter. They have said, contrary to what some folks are reporting, Titanfall is the very core of our DNA. Who knows what the future holds? Now, whilst I have no idea what that means, I would argue that if on the 22nd you got a guy saying, we have no future for Titanfall, and then on the 23rd you've got Respawn saying, actually, Titanfall is the core of our DNA. I'd argue that they are saying that they ain't done with this. They've got stuff they want to do, and they're going to do it, right? So, I'm interested to see where this goes. Obviously, we don't know what it is. But I'm hoping it's, I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's a new Titanfall game. That'll be awesome and epic and fun, and just really something great for me. Titanfall's always been engaging. It actually makes me want to play the game. But there's issues with the games as well, so that's like kind of what makes me not want to play it, which is sad on some levels. Give me a second, I'm going to fix a mic issue, which is... Yes, this one here, right. So, let me turn this back to 0. Okay, so this is 0 now. And now we shouldn't be hitting that limit that we were hitting earlier on, which should be a little bit better. Yeah, we don't seem to be hitting that limit anymore. Alrighty, so Jason Schreier, some news. Checo, Sonny, executive producer for Overwatch 2, in the multi-billion-dollar Overwatch franchise, is leaving Activision Blizzard. He was widely respected and seen as the integral part of Overwatch's future after director Jeff Kaplan left earlier this year. Well, he's leaving too. He's had enough. So, yeah, let's have a look into this. So, yes, I accept. I don't want to claim an offer. Please get off my screen. I don't care. I literally don't care. Thank you. President Tim is leaving the executive in charge while their video games leading biggest upcoming titles, making another departure of senior staff while the company is grappling with a California lawsuit for harassment and discrimination, an investigation by Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Yep, they also lost their chief legal officer. Apparently someone who was the head of Diablo 4. I don't know who they were specifically. I didn't really look into it. I don't look into Activision Blizzard. Like, to me, everything they're doing is pretty much boring. But apparently someone who was in Diablo 4 in charge of that, they left as well. Apparently they were the project lead or something. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I read in the passing of reading through stuff. But yeah, so new Blizzard co-leaders Jen O'Neill and Mikey Barrow called him a thoughtful leader and said they were grateful for his service. So he didn't say why he was leaving, but wrote in a note to colleagues that working at Blizzard had been absolutely privileged, blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. Anyways, we're going to move on from this. I'm going to move into trailers, right? Trailers. That's where we're going to hop into now. And we're going to start off with Medieval Dynasty CGI launch trailer in English. Hunt, survive, build and lead in the harsh Middle Ages. Create your own medieval dynasty and ensure its long-lasting prosperity or die trying. This is by Top Lit Productions. It's a short trailer. But yeah, let's try and get to, like, a volume that doesn't blow my ears out so much. So let's go to there. That's not too bad.
Dark and dangerous medieval ages bear many challenges. You need to hunt to survive.
This looks interesting in some ways.
And build shelters.
This looks interesting.
clever in trading. Expand your settlement
Apologies about that, I was fixing a headset issue.
and keep your people
That's better.
happy.
This game looks pretty. I mean, it's a CGI trailer though.
Defend your village against the outlaws.
This isn't gameplay, obviously.
Family live in safety. Create and grow your own medieval dynasty.
That's interesting. We'll have to see where that goes. I mean, it's something, right? It's something. It's a game. I mean, it looks alright. Interesting, at least. So, moving on to the next one. And this is the Last Campfire Steam trailer. Last Campfire is coming to Steam on October 7th. It's a really lovely game. A true labour of love from a small team. And this is from Hello's Games Tube, by the way. But apparently, so, yeah. Let's hop into this and have a look. It does look interesting. So let's have a look. I actually like the art style. Whoa, this has some really insane ratings. Yo, this looks awesome. In some ways. I'm not saying it's gonna be amazing, but it does look nice. So it's a puzzle game. And it's coming October 7th. I mean, that looks interesting, right? I like the art style. I feel like that's super chill. Let's have a look at that again. Let's get to like here. Like this is looks interesting. This looks fun. I mean, this will be a cool little game to play, right? If you're into these kinds of games, if you have time. Like, not every game needs to be like a freaking epic fantasy adventure, right? But at the same time, it is awesome when you have just like these little games that feel a need, feel something inside, and are just good. So we're moving on to Chorus, and this is the announcement trailer by Koch Media. It's a dark sci-fi shooter. Chorus will be available on 3rd December. In Chorus, you take control of ace pilot Nara, a fugitive on a quest to destroy the dark cult that created her, facing her haunted past. Along the way, along with her sentient starfighter Forsaken, she explores ancient temples, engaging in exhilarating zero-G combat, fighting to unite the resistance forces against the cult known as the Circle, and their leader, the Great Prophet. Because there's always a Great Prophet, right? Looking at you, Boris.
16.
That's a joke, by the way. Ooh, nice.
We built order out of chaos. Each trial, each
Yo, this space looks pretty.
overcome.
Ooh.
Now we live in an age of unprecedented peace.
Ooh, I like this concept.
We have prevailed
So is it a little bit of both?
thanks to her.
It looks like a little bit of both gameplay.
Let her ascension serve as
It looks like a little bit of both gameplay where you kind of do zero-G stuff, but you might also do walking stuff. And then you got like obviously an AI chip, which is Forsaken.
we strive
This looks pretty fun though.
for chorus.
I like the graphic and art style, it's very clean and crisp. I like these cinematics are awesome as well. I hope this is like part of the game and not just trailer cinematics. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's a Great Prophet, I think.
This ends with us.
Chorus. I like it. I like it. 12 of the 3rd of the 12th, 21. It's coming out apparently. That looks fun. That looks awesome. I like the look of that. So moving on to the next one, which is Rocket Sword 2021 pre-release trailer. This is really short. Is there anything even here? Add to wish list. That's pretty much it. And there's a demo as well on itch.io. Oh, I'll try the demo out tomorrow. I will try this demo out tomorrow when I play indie games. I'll try this before I try before I continue playing the Lonely Wolf Treat series. Yeah, I've been playing Lonely Wolf Treat series. It's really, really fun. It's on itch.io. You can play them all. They're free. You can also donate money to them if you want. It's a really interesting set of games. I do recommend. So let's hop into this and let's watch this one then. It only has 82 views. This looks absolutely mental already. I mean, the art style isn't bad. It's a bit chaotic, right? But, I mean, it serves a purpose. The music, I like 8-bit music. I like it. I mean, there's nothing bad there. There's nothing I can say against it. I like the kind of concept. Whether there's enough content there for it to be enjoyable or to worth money or whatnot, or if it's gonna be free, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna try the demo tomorrow and see what it's like, and then I can make more of a opinion about it. But it certainly looks like just a little game that people can enjoy, right? We're gonna move on to the final thing of the day, which is Disney, and it is about their Disney Classic Games collection, which is coming, and this is by Nighthawk Interactive, apparently. The Disney Classic Games collection is the latest and greatest compilation of Disney Classic Games, based on some of the most beloved Disney movies of all time. Aladdin, The Lion King, and now The Jungle Book. This package combines Disney Classic Games, Aladdin, and The Lion King. I'm not going to play music for this one, obviously, because of the nature of it, so we're just going to watch the trailer without any noise or anything, because there will be copyright music in this, and I will get struck by Disney, and then the podcast won't end up on anywhere, so, you know. That's just the reality of Disney, guys. So, yeah, Disney Jungle Book. You're looking at an island, jumping, looking at Lion King, Mufasa. Oh, we're moving around, then we've got Aladdin, jumping. Alright, so this is like stupid classic games from like the 80s, 90s. Like mid-late 90s, I think. Every 16-bit version of Aladdin, every 16-bit version of Jungle Book, and more games. Apparently they've been remastered from some looks of it. Well, not exactly remastered, but more like they've been polished. So yeah, I mean they look good. They look good, I guess, to some extent. Screen filters, display options, blah blah blah. I mean, they're definitely different from the original, which may make it worth it for some people. It's on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, and Steam as well. So it's going to be on a lot of platforms, and I mean, it's interesting. It's coming fall 2021. I mean, if you're into Disney games and all that, I guess it's something that you might want. Or if you want your kids to play like a little bit of a refined version of games that you used to enjoy, then maybe it's something like that. Anyways, guys, we've been doing this for nearly an hour now, and I'm sorry for the start. Like, I know there was a lot of heavy topics there, and it was like, ugh. But at the same time, I want to talk about it because I don't know. Some people are talking about it, but other people aren't talking about it, and I felt like if I don't talk about it, then I'm gonna regret not talking about it. Right? That's like how it works with a lot of stuff. Sometimes you just regret not saying something when you had the opportunity to say it, and instead you just like, I don't want to say anything, I don't want any backlash, I don't want to be a part of it. But I decided I wanted to say something about it, so, yep. We talked about some lesser topics there, and a lot of fun topics. I think the game's fun. The game's definitely interesting. The Titanfall little misbit, that was in there. I'm definitely interested to see where that goes. Because if there was a new Titanfall, that would be pretty awesome. But, obviously we don't know. We'll have to see what happens in the future. Maybe there will be something, maybe there won't. Maybe it was just something to appease fans. You never know with companies, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you like the podcast, hit that follow button, comment, like, subscribe, do all the things, please. Look in the description below, follow the links and all that jazz, because it really helps me out, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate every one of you who listens to and watches this absolute nonsense like me that doing this podcast. So anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, evening, or night, and bye. And then, for anyone here who is here for the streamies, should I stream? Maybe, no. I don't know. Like, playing a game now is like pretty late, right? I don't know if I will go for another hour or so. I feel like getting it here is like probably a better idea. So we're gonna go find someone to raid. We're gonna do that, right? I feel like it's more the responsible thing to do. So let's go do that and let's have a look and see who we can raid, who is about. I'm not sure who is about. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not usually on this time. Let's have a look. I mean, I am normally on this time, but it's still pretty late. I'm just looking at stuff, and then there's like Linity watching 90 Day Fiance, and then like pictures of. I'm just not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there at all. Too much time. Let's blah blah. Richard Schmidt. School member. Shell. Spark. I mean, Spark. Okay, whoa. Actually, no, I don't want to do that because I feel bad about it. Like, because there's not many people here, so I feel bad about that. Like, I don't know why. I just feel bad about bringing people who have slightly too many people. I know it's like an absurd thing, but at the same time, in my mind, it's like, hey, don't do this. Who is live then? This is one person that I can go to. This person who I like and I enjoy their content, so we'll go do that. And oh my god, Twitch! Let me pause. Twitch. I'm gonna tell you this now. What annoys me about Twitch is when you go to mute someone and it won't let you mute them. You just won't let you mute them at all for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. Twitch just doesn't like you muting people. It's annoying because it makes it so it forces you to stay in some awful situations. So yeah, guys. I'll see you guys later. I will be on tomorrow playing games and stuff. Evening, day, and night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's all loaded up. That's working fine. We're gonna go raid a friend of mine who is playing Diablo 2. I will see you guys later. Take care and have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. So yeah.